How are you on this Saturday afternoon? It is January the 27th, 2018, and this is the weekly weather briefing video. And it is a very raw Saturday out there. If you have to get out and about, you probably don't want the rain to be sticking around, but if you're stuck indoors, it's a good day to just snuggle up on the couch by the fireplace, watch a movie. But nonetheless, the rain will be departing as we go into the afternoon hours, and this will leave behind fog concerns for Sunday morning. And then we have a shortwave that moves through on Monday. A shortwave is basically just a very little area of troughingness, and this is going to leave enough lift and moisture that we could be looking at a rain-snow mix across the area, but it would be very light, a novelty event. We'll talk about it here in just a second. And it will leave cold air behind it on Monday and Tuesday, no matter what happens on Monday. And even in the midst of all that cold weather, there will be a slight warm-up that moves in around the middle of the week. And by the middle of the week, I pretty much just mean Wednesday and Wednesday only. It will be short-lived, and we'll talk about why. Storm system moves in on Thursday through Friday, and do we have wintry concerns with it? We'll talk about it, and below average temperatures after that system moves out of the area. This rain will be departing as we go into the afternoon hours. The steady rain should exit across the region around 1 p.m., give or take an hour or so. Light scattered showers will begin to move out of the area probably around sunset or so, and even a couple of them could last into the overnight hours with maybe some more misty kind of showers, especially once we see some of that dense fog beginning to develop, which leads me to the next slide. Moist air is going to be sticking around for most of the night. It will be very muggy tonight. Temperatures are going to be cooling off pretty rapidly, but it is going to leave still a lot of moist air in the atmosphere. This is not really associated with a cold front. None of this rain is, and so there is no dry air to move in after it to really wipe away any of that moisture that's left in the air. So there will be moisture in the air. There will be a wet ground, and winds will begin to calm as we go throughout the overnight hours. All three are big playmakers for dense fog, and you can tell the NAM3KM model is acknowledging that. It has at 7 a.m. Sunday morning visibilities across the area down to a quarter mile or less. A shortwave moves in on Monday, and this might have enough lift and moisture to provide a rain-snow mix across the area. However, I do think that chances on my part of the forecast are going to remain less than 20%, and this is why the Monday 11 a.m. graphic from the NAM3KM model has a very light scattered rain-snow mix shower across the area at that time, and if you were to go even further out in time, this model has nothing after that. So this is a novelty event. If it even happens, my chances for it are less than 20%, but I did want to mention it just in case there are a couple of flurries or sprinkles across the area on Monday afternoon. A cold Monday and Tuesday as that shortwave departs. It will leave cold air in its wake no matter what happens on Monday. This is going to be pretty cold as we go into Monday and Tuesday. Those highs are going to be in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Monday is probably going to be the worst day out of the two because we will have clouds in the region because of that shortwave in the area, and then we will also have a slight breeze to accompany. So those colder temperatures are going to be in store for Monday and Tuesday, but Monday does seem to be at least the worst day of the two if you were to take a pick. On Tuesday, it's because we begin to see sunshine moving in, so that at least makes it feel a little bit better, but temperatures still overall very cold in the middle to upper 30s for afternoon highs. We will see a warm up going into the middle of the week. We see a cold front that I drew right here with that black line off to our north and west, and the arrows represent the direction of that cold front. It is moving south and east at that time. This is going to bring temperatures into the 50s by Wednesday, and that will be the only warm day this week. And that cold front will be moving through the day on Thursday, so temperatures throughout Thursday might start out warm but falling throughout the day, and that's because we will be seeing that cold front move through as well as possible precipitation. So as storm system arrives Thursday through Friday, I am more than 80% confident that there will be a storm system present, and roughly around the Thursday through Friday time frame. But there is a whole slew of things that I'd have less than 20% confidence in, such as the precipitation type, the air temperatures. There is a possibility of maybe some low pressure forming along the leading edge of that cold front. If that were to happen, it would enhance precipitation amounts and totals. The strength of that low pressure, if it even forms, is still up in the air as well. And as always, the amounts of the rain and snow accumulations, precipitation type, of the timing and stuff, and if we were to see a changeover from rain to snow, what the timing of that would be, and really just the specific timing of the arrival and exit of the system as a whole plus the ground temperatures and road temperatures. Will they be too warm for anything to really stick? We'll have to wait and see if that even becomes a possibility, if we even have to deal with snow as we go into the later part of the week. But here's the GFS ensembles, and don't take the specifics as the rain-snow line or the rain and sleet line or the snow and sleet line. Just take the general idea that most of these ensemble members are showing at least a storm system on Thursday through Friday. This is for Friday at 6 a.m. in the morning. So every one of these ensemble members, except for maybe one or two, have a storm system in our region at that time. And the more ensembles that agree, then the better the confidence is in the forecast that whatever these ensembles are predicting, that it's going to happen. So this is the GFS ensembles. The GFS control model, or just the GFS, is showing the same thing. And then these are its ensemble members. Ensembles are just the same model, but it's ran multiple times and has different starting variables and things like that. So it's more confidence in the forecast. There is more confidence if more of these little squares agree with each other, and that is each one of those individual ensemble members. This is the National Weather Service probability map of more than a quarter inch of, this is at least a quarter inch of liquid equivalent of snow and sleet. So this is if we had snow and sleet and it was melted. There is a 30% chance, a 10 to 30% chance, as of right now. Of course, this will change going forward, of that snow and sleet melted to be a quarter inch or more. And a quarter inch, if we're going with a 10 to 1 snow to liquid ratio, would be about 2.5 inches of snow. So if we're looking at just snow here, it's basically showing a 10 to 30% chance of 2.5 inches of snow between Thursday and Friday. But this will change, and that's a probability, so it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Below average temperatures are going to be moving in after this system departs. This is for Saturday at noon. And also, depending if we even have snow on the ground, would depend on how cold those temperatures get after the system moves out of the area. But you can tell much of the eastern half of the nation below average, and I think that this is something that is going to last well into the month of February. 15-day temperatures do show that. We look at that up and down temperatures, temperature department over the next couple of days, at least through this week. Once we get towards Thursday, we finally take that nosedive, and it stays cold for some time. Depending on how many storm systems we see during this time frame that I have boxed in, depends on how warm or how cold those temperatures get and how many ups and downs we see. There are going to be some more storm systems moving in after Thursday through Friday and going into the first full week of February. And so there is the possibility that we see some of those systems go to our north and temperatures warm up. So overall, that cold regime is going to return, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to see warm temperatures in the middle of it. So there are still concerns for that. As always, it depends on the track of each one of those storm systems, but a more active pattern going into the month of February as we look out into the long range, and colder than average temperatures do look to be in the forecast as well. Here's the 7-day precipitation totals, and this is, of course, adding in what's fallen today and what's also going to fall going into the Thursday through Friday system. And you can tell this is all melted, so roughly we're looking at around 3/4 of an inch, but this is all going to be changing over the next couple of days, and it really all depends on what happens Thursday through Friday. Like I said, pretty confident that there will be a storm system, but there is a lot of things that I'm not very confident about right now. The least that you can do, or at least the most you can do, is to stay tuned as we go throughout the rest of this week. So Thursday through Friday is the only real big concern for this week. Small concerns such as dense fog Saturday night and Sunday morning, and the cold weather moving in on Monday through Tuesday, and that very slight chance of a rain-snow mix on Monday doesn't look to be all that great, but it is still there, so we'll keep an eye on it. Have a great week, and if there is anything that needs to be updated going into the Thursday through Friday system, or if there looks to be snow as a possibility, then we will be looking at an updated video coming on Wednesday for the Thursday through Friday system. Have a great week.